Hare Krishna, Namaste. Last night, I had a discussion with one of my friends. In that discussion, we are talking about some saintly qualities. Then the discussion turned into comparing us and the saints. It was quite interesting, and I thought it would be nice to share some of the points that came out of that discussion. For them, that's the saints, there is no time for any material activities, engagements, but they have all time to perform bhakti. For us, no time to perform bhakti, but we got all the time for material engagements. For example, if some service opportunity comes, some services needed at the temple, we would have no time. But if we are invited for a party, a family gathering, sports, etc., we will find time somehow or the other. Second difference, for them, hard to forget God and hard to remember the material things. In other words, it is easy for them to remember God and easy for them to forget material things. For us, hard to remember God and hard to forget material things. In other words, easy to forget God and easy to remember material things. Number 3, they see God in anything and everything and utilize those things in service of God. For us, we also see anything and everything, but to engage them in serving us. For them, God is not hidden. He is like a big elephant in a big hall, which cannot be missed. For us, God is hidden, like a needle lost in a hall, therefore hard to see Him. Number 4, they eat for living to experience God. We live for eating to experience enjoyment. Number 5, they see us as losers of spiritual bliss. We see them as losers of material happiness. Number 6, they see us as crazy people, whereas we see them as crazy people. They see us crazy people because the crazy people are the one who identify themselves wrongly. Though it is so very obvious by seeing, by hearing, by studying that we are not this body, but we so much identify ourselves to be this body. This is my son, this is my wife, they are my parents, this is my house, this is my car. Therefore, according to them, we are crazy people. Whereas we think they are crazy because they are missing out the opportunities to enjoy this world by becoming renunciate. Number 7, they think they are dependent upon the Lord. They are the servant. The Lord is the master. The Lord is the father, and they are the children. The Lord is the enjoyer. They are to be enjoyed. The Lord is the controller, and they to be controlled. The Lord is the whole, and they are the part. The Lord is the Savior, and they to be saved. Whereas we think we are totally independent, that we are the master, we are the enjoyer, we are the Savior. We save ourselves, our family, our properties. Therefore, we don't need any help. I have age, I have health, I have money, I have people, I have position, so I can do whatever I want. I am completely independent, not controlled by anyone. The 8th difference is they, the saints, tries to keep their senses controlled, whereas For us, the senses are uncontrollable. They try to keep the senses of God satisfied. We try to keep our senses satisfied. We want to see beautiful things. We want to eat palatable dishes. We want to talk many unnecessary things. We want to hear unwanted things. Our senses are so very occupied on those things which has no value for us. To the Atma, everything is focused towards the body. Number 9, they see the enemies within themselves, whereas we see enemies outside. They consider pride, anger, greed, lust, illusion, madness are their key enemies according to them. Whereas in our case, for us, enemies are outside. We think the enemies are outside. My neighbor, my colleague, my business partner, my life partner, my neighbor, etc. Number 10, they think they don't have any good qualities, whereas we think we only have good qualities. But the truth is opposite. Number 11, they are passionate about spiritual achievements, whereas we are passionate about material achievements. They are undisturbed by the dualities of the world, whereas we are constantly disturbed by the dualities of the world. Number 13, they are concerned about others' welfare, irrespective of gender, color, nation, etc. Whereas we are also concerned but about our own welfare, about our children, about our spouse, our parents, etc. We don't think beyond this circle to help others. Number 14, they are dominated by Sattva Guna, whereas we are predominantly Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Number 15, their attachment and hatred unbinds them, whereas our attachment and hatred binds us. It is the same Raga and Dvesha which releases them from this material bondage. But it's the same Raga and Dvesha which binds us into this material world, meaning their attachment towards God and hatred toward Maya unbinds them, whereas our attachment towards Maya and hatred towards God binds us. Number 16, their anger is constructive and fruitful, whereas our anger is destructive and unfruitful. When they get angry, it's for the benefit of others, whereas when we get angry, it benefits no one. And number 17, we are born to exercise and experience our karmas, whereas they are born to deliver us from our karmas. So the differences can go on, but we would like to narrate a conversation that took place between King Dasaratha and sage Vishwamitra. One time, the great sage Vishwamitra arrived to Ayodhya and requested King Dasaratha to send his son Rama to the forest to keep the demons away while he performs the fire sacrifice. Hearing this, Dasaratha was completely taken back and was not ready to part from his dear son Rama. Dasaratha gave many reasons why he doesn't want to send his son to the forest. At that time, Vishwamitra said, Aham vedmi mahatmanam ramam satya parakramam. My dear king, you do not know your son, but I know him fully. Dasaratha was shocked by such statement. He was thinking, I am his father. Do I know my son better? Or do you, who just arrived for the first time to see my son, knows him better? Our acharyas gives nice commentary. The reason why Dasaratha could not understand his son, Lord Rama, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but the sage, the saintly Vishwamitra could understand. Dasaratha sits high on the throne. Sage Vishwamitra sits low on the ground. Dasaratha wears crown. Sage Vishwamitra wears matted hair. Dasaratha wears silk garments. Sage Vishwamitra wears deer skins. Dasaratha lives in the palace. The saint Vishwamitra lives in the forest. King Dasaratha protected by his army, whereas the sage Vishwamitra was completely protected by the Almighty. King Dasaratha eats and drinks palatable items. The sage Vishwamitra eats roots and fruits. King Dasaratha was served by many servants, whereas the saint became servant of many. Dasaratha holds two swords, whereas sage Vishwamitra holds two kamandalu. King Dasaratha sleeps on a comfortable bed, whereas for sage Vishwamitra, Mother Earth is the bed. Therefore, Vishwamitra can understand, but not Dasaratha. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Rishabhadev instructs his sons. One of the main instructions that he gives to his sons is to engage in penance and austerity. The human life is meant for performing austerity. Nayam deho dega bhajam nirloke kashtan kaman arhati vidbhujamya tapo divyam putrakayena sattvam shuddhadyasmad brahma saukyam tu anantam. My dear boys, of all the living entities who have accepted material bodies in this world, one who has been awarded this human form should not work hard day and night simply for sense gratification, which is available even for dogs and hogs that eat stool. One should engage in penance and austerity to attain the divine position of devotional service. By such activity, one's heart is purified, and when one attains this position, he attains eternal blissful life, which is transcendental to material happiness and which continues forever. So the point here is, as long as we are attached to the material happiness, we are missing out the spiritual bliss. The material happiness may come in different forms, even for the spiritualist. Therefore, one should be very careful not to get fooled. We have to protect ourselves. And for us to develop those saintly qualities and for us to be safe, the only best solution is to be in the association of such saints, so we can get some drops of their wonderful qualities. We can get inspired by seeing them. We can get help from them. They can correct us and take us in right path. If we take this simple step, we can see a big change in our life. There is a famous saying, Sadhu Sangha Sarva Sastre Koi, Labamatra Sadhu Sanghe Sarva Siddhi Hoi. By even a moment's association with a pure devotee, one can attain all success. The sadhus, the saints, are the abode of wonderful qualities. The saints are the abode of spiritual treasure. The sadhus are the abode of all the holy dhams. When we associate with them, when we serve them, we develop good qualities. We develop bhakti. Then We will have a lot of time to perform devotional service. We can easily remember God. We will not be anymore a crazy person. We will be completely dependent on the Almighty. We will strive to keep the senses of Krishna satisfied. We will start working on our internal enemies. We will not get disturbed by the dualities around us. We will become broad-minded to help others beyond our family circle. Our sattva guna will increase. Our attachment and hatred towards a material thing will decrease. And we will be happy in this world. Thank you. Hare Krishna.